Albany head coach Will Brown is the longest tenured head basketball coach in the America East, but even more impressive than his 14 years of service are the 5 titles that he's won. Brown has guided the Great Danes to the NCAA's 5 times since 2006, and the trips include a first-round tournament win a couple of years ago. This season began on the road last Friday at National Power Kentucky, and though the Great Danes dropped to 0-2 with the loss to Boston University on Monday, they'll have a chance to win game number 1 on the year tomorrow on campus, and that's where I sat down with the coach of the Great Danes earlier today. The Great Danes will open their home schedule tomorrow night right here in Safeco Arena against Colgate. The banners for last year's NCAA tournament appearance will be unfurled. And so, Will Brown, thanks for having us out here, first of all.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And let's start with the banner. And I know, obviously, we've turned the page on a new season, but tomorrow, at least initially, will briefly be an opportunity to reflect. Do you ever find yourself reflecting back on that game against Stony Brook?
Yeah, you know, I do. Obviously, Peter is still here in our program, and we have some other players that experienced that with us. You know, it never gets old when you drop a banner or you talk about past championships. I think what you have to be careful of is when you have a new team and a new year, that they don't rest on the laurels of teams from the past, that they create their own identity, they have their own goals, and that they realize it's a new year and how lucky you have to be, how well you have to play, and you have to be pretty good from a one-bid league to get the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament.
And you've done that a handful of times in your tenure here, and now 3 times recently. This team in particular, have you been able to kind of move past that, or have you had to work a little bit harder in that regard?
Well, it's early. One of my biggest fears was our veteran guys, especially our perimeter guys, getting complacent and them thinking that we're going to win another America East championship, because that's what we've done the last 3 years. Because I have to rely on those 3 veterans. They've been through the battles, they know the expectation, and they've all performed under the lights. And they're 3 returning all-conference players, so they need to be those 3 need to be the rocks for us that we can rely on. And you know, I think they're excited about the opportunity, but I do think right now, after 2 games, they're a little frustrated with how we've played overall, and I think they're excited about the home opener.
Well, let's start with the first game of the season when you played at Kentucky. Was it difficult at all to have them not kind of in awe of Rupp Arena in the program?
No, I think every kid feels they should be playing at Kentucky. And it's a great opportunity, national spotlight against arguably the most talented team in the country. And then after watching them play against Duke last night, they probably are the best team in the country. So I knew we'd be ready to go. It's just a matter of, were we going to be overexcited? Were we going to have careless turnovers? How were we going to handle their pressure? How were we going to defend all that talent? I thought we did a really good job. We just couldn't make any threes, and the 3-point shot's the great equalizer against the BCS level team / elite teams. And I just got drilled in the back of the head by a ball. So obviously we have some guys shooting around. I thought we handled ourselves well. We attacked their pressure. They were just too big, too long, too athletic, and too talented for us.
What kind of basketball player were you? How would you describe your game?
I was a basketball junkie. I was a coach's son. Not a great athlete, but I'd like to think that I played the game from the shoulders up, high IQ type guy. But like I said, I grew up in a gym, so I was around all of my father's teams. You know, I watched him coach, and I just had access to gyms and teams, and watched a lot of basketball growing up. And that's a big reason why I'm coaching today, is because of my experiences growing up, watching my dad's teams, and also having the opportunity to play for my dad.
Do you think that your teams in any way reflects his teams, or is your style similar to how he coached?
Well, I think we're both, you know, very demanding. We expect a lot from our teams. You know, I don't think our styles of play really are similar, but I just think the expectation that we had and how hard we expected our guys to work, and just paying attention to detail, I think there's some similarities there for sure. Did you always know you wanted to get into coaching? Deep down, I did. I think I was always afraid to probably tell my parents that's what I wanted to do. You know, when I graduated with a business degree and my master's as well, you know, I think the expectation was, you know, okay, let's go to Wall Street, you know, work, make some money, retire early. And I think my family realized that basketball is a big part of me that I didn't want to let go. And so I dove right into coaching, and it's worked out. I've been very fortunate to have the opportunities that I've had, and I've tried to make the most of them, and I still enjoy doing it. So it beats going to work every day.
You've been doing it for a long time here at UAlbany, 5 conference championships. Certainly there have been opportunities where you could look elsewhere, pursue other opportunities. What has it that's kept you here?
Well, I know a lot of people in this business that have really chased the highest level and more money, and then before you know it, they're out of the business. I think Albany's a great place for me to raise a family. My wife was born and raised in the area. She's got almost 40 relatives within 10 to 12 miles of us. I think it's a good place to raise our kids. And then the other thing is I'm away a lot, and just the comfort level knowing that my wife has family here. And also, when I got this job, my parents basically retired and moved up here. I'm an only child, so it's nice having them around. And up to this point so far, it's been a good place, to work. As long as there's a commitment for the program to grow, the resources are available, and my staff is taken care of. I think it can be a place that can be a really good job moving forward. When the rest of the teams in our league start getting more resources than us, or make a bigger commitment, than us, then that's when I start having some concerns. And I do think we have to play some catch up right now with where we're at. I judge what we do really based on what Stony Brook and Binghamton are doing, because they're other state schools, and we've got to catch up. But up to this point, it's been a pretty good place to work.
Another reason maybe to stay here is the Saratoga Racecourse. You're a big horse fan, and to have a piece of a couple of horses. First of all, Breeders' Cup Classic. Were you glued to the television?
No, I wasn't. See, what you need to understand about my horse racing dynamic is that's 95% my wife. The one good thing about owning a few horses is the ownership group that we're in with. Coach Bassett, Jay Geiger, our trainer, Tony Marinello, our team doctor, Lee Saravillo, the head of our alumni association. So there's 7 or 8 of us that own 4 or 5 horses. We're in it together, and I think that's enjoyable. But it's my wife that really likes to be at Saratoga, to watch the horses run. I just want to know how much it's going to cost us. That's my big thing. And the other thing with me, which people don't realize, I don't like attention. I don't like big crowds. So for me, for like the big races, like the Travers, I don't want to be anywhere near the Travers. My wife wants to be in the middle of it all. I'll watch the Travers, I'll watch the Breeders' Cup. So I like that aspect of it. I like that my wife enjoys it. And I like the fact that the group that we own with picks fun at me all the time, because I don't know when the horses are racing, where they're racing, the odds. I don't know any of that. But like I said, happy wife, happy life. I enjoy doing it with Jay Geiger and the group that we have. And plus in this area, Saratoga's, it's a big thing. It's important. This is a big weakness of mine. I'm just 24/7 basketball in my program, and I've tried to get better at that, especially with having a 13-year-old and a 5-year-old, and you can tell with an 8-year-old gap, my wife and I didn't plan very well, but trying to get a little bit better with them. The horse racing, it's part of what this area is all about. So I do like it, but I like it from a distance, if that makes sense for me.
Absolutely. And then finally, let's bring it back to this team and in the home opener tomorrow night, and replacing Sam, maybe the biggest difference moving forward to this team, and how have you been able to do that, and what other adjustments are going to be made moving forward?
Well, more guard-dominated, guard-oriented this year. We have 3 returning perimeter all-conference players back. Our front court, it's not that they're not talented, it's just that they were more unproven because Sam had such a big role. And we've already felt the impact of not having Sam, not really against Kentucky, but against Boston University, where we didn't play well. We struggled mightily, but in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a game, we would force feed the ball to Sam and play off Sam. Now we're not doing that. Our guards got to step up and make plays, and I have to put them in positions to be successful. I got frustrated against Boston University because I thought we were the better team, and I let that frustration get to me, and I don't think I did as good of a job as I'm capable of doing coaching. I think it's easy to say, hey, we were 6 for 33 from the floor. The perimeter guys need to do more. Well, Coach Brown needs to help them do more as well. Our front court guys against BU were outstanding. If you would have told me going into that game we were getting 14 from Travis, 15 and 8 from Mike, 9 boards from Steyer, would have told you we were going to win by 20. We're the better team, in my opinion. We were not the tougher team that night, and BU deserved to win.
All right, well, chance to get to the win column against Colgate tomorrow night, so best of luck in the home opener and the rest of the season.
Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on the show.
You got it.